Have you ever felt completely drained after talking to someone, like all your energy was sucked out of you? Today, we're going to talk about a difficult but very important topic. We'll reveal 12 signs that it might be time for you to completely cut ties with a certain person. And helping us navigate this challenging path is the ancient yet surprisingly relevant philosophy of Stoicism. Get ready to learn how to protect your inner peace. But before we get to the signs themselves, let's take a moment to delve into the world of the Stoics. These were wise thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. They taught us to focus on what we can control. That's our thoughts, our reactions, and our choices. Everything else, and that definitely includes other people's behaviour, is outside our control. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about taking a rational approach to life. It teaches us how to maintain inner calm and virtue even when dealing with relationships. Moving on to the second very important sign. This is the ignoring of your personal boundaries. What exactly does that mean? It's when someone constantly crosses the line you've drawn for yourself, even if you've said stop or no many times before. For example, they might take your things without asking, meddle in your personal affairs, ask overly personal questions you don't want to answer, call at inconvenient times, or give unsolicited advice. Even when you've asked them not to, you've tried to gently explain that you don't like this behaviour. Or perhaps you've been more firm, but it doesn't work. The person keeps doing things their way. Sometimes it even feels like they're deliberately testing your limits, seeing how far they can go. You feel like your no doesn't matter. Your personal space is constantly being invaded. The sense of disrespect builds. From a Stoic perspective, your boundaries are part of your inner kingdom, what you can control. If someone constantly violates them, they are infringing on your peace of mind and dignity. We cannot force others to respect us, but we can decide how we will react, and most importantly, whether we are willing to continue such interactions. Protecting your boundaries is not just a right, it's a duty to yourself. It's part of preserving your integrity. The Stoics taught us to value our autonomy, our tranquility, and not to let external factors disturb it, even if they are close people. This is crucial for your mental health. The third sign is a deeply unpleasant phenomenon known as manipulation and gaslighting. Have you ever felt yourself starting to doubt your own memory or your perception of reality? That's what gaslighting is. The other person might say, "That didn't happen," even though you distinctly remember it happening. Or, "You're making things up. You imagined it. You're too emotional." The goal of gaslighting is to make you doubt yourself, to make you question your own judgment. Manipulation, on the other hand, is a broader concept. It's when someone uses cunning, lies, or plays on your emotions to get what they want. They might make you feel guilty, play on your pity, pretend to be a victim, or conversely, use their authority to pressure you. All of this is done to get you to act in a way that benefits them, not you. You feel like a puppet. You're being controlled. Your opinion is ignored. Or, even worse, distorted. From a Stoic perspective, clarity of thought is the foundation of virtue. If someone is constantly trying to confuse you, to make you doubt your own reality, it's a direct attack on your ability to make rational decisions. The Stoics taught us to rely on reason, and gaslighting and manipulation undermine that pillar. They strip you of your autonomy, your ability to think critically. This isn't just unpleasant, it's dangerous for your mental health. Your right to your own perception and truth is invaluable. If someone is constantly taking it away from you, that's a sign that you need to take decisive action. The fourth sign to look out for is constant criticism and invalidation. Do you frequently hear that you're doing things wrong, that your ideas are foolish, or that your feelings don't matter? This isn't constructive feedback, it's persistent belittling. This person might criticize your appearance, your hobbies, or your achievements, and it doesn't matter how hard you tried or how successful you were. Often, this criticism is masked as helpful advice, or "I'm just saying this for your own good." But in reality, it leaves you feeling inadequate. Phrases like, "Your work is useless," "Anyone could have done that," or Why are you so happy? It's just a small thing become common. Your successes are minimized, your joy is stifled, and your feelings are mocked. You start to feel insignificant. Your enthusiasm fades, and your self-esteem plummets. From a Stoic perspective, a person's worth isn't defined by external opinions. Our value comes from within, from our virtues and our efforts. If someone constantly tries to invalidate you, they are attacking your inner dignity. The Stoics taught us to remain calm in the face of others' opinions, especially those that are negative and unfair. Your self-worth should be based on your own judgment, not on someone else's. If interacting with a person consistently undermines your self-belief, that's a major issue. It hinders your personal growth and disrupts your inner peace. And it's another clear signal that it's time to reconsider the appropriateness of such contact. Sign number 5 is the lack of reciprocity in relationships. Think about who most often takes the initiative in your interactions. Who calls first? Who suggests getting together? Who remembers important dates? And who is always too busy when it comes to your needs? In relationships like these, you're constantly giving. You invest your energy, time, and emotions, but you get very little in return, or nothing at all. This can show up in many ways. For example, you're always ready to listen to others' problems, to offer support, to show up if asked. But when you need help, that person suddenly disappears or finds 1,000 excuses not to be there. Your requests are ignored, your problems are downplayed. The feeling that you're always playing a one-sided game is incredibly draining. You feel used, lonely, and emotionally depleted. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions of other people, we can control our expectations and our decisions. If relationships are one-sided, they don't benefit you or your inner peace. Your resources, your time, energy, attention are valuable, and they are worth investing where there is at least some return. If there isn't, continuing such connections means intentionally depleting yourself. The Stoics advocated for the rational use of all resources, including emotional ones. Don't spend them on something that yields nothing and constantly leaves you in the negative. This is a sure path to disappointment and mental fatigue. The 6th sign that should definitely raise a red flag is constant dramatic situations. There are people whose lives seem like one endless soap opera. Something is always happening to them. Loud conflicts, unexpected crises, never-ending problems. And you, often without even wanting to, find yourself constantly pulled into their stories. They ask you to play peacemaker, or take sides, or simply listen to hour-long accounts of their latest troubles. These dramas rarely reach a conclusion. They just seamlessly transition from one to the next. The person often seems to even enjoy playing the victim or the main character in their own tragedies, and you become a part of their show. Your peace is disturbed. Your time gets spent on other people's problems that may never actually be resolved. You feel perpetually on edge, bracing yourself for the next catastrophe. It's exhausting, and it keeps you from focusing on your own life. From a Stoic perspective, we strive for tranquility and composure. If someone is constantly generating chaos around them, they are disrupting your inner harmony. The Stoics taught us to separate what we can control from what we cannot. Other people's dramas, their choices, these are outside of our control. Allowing them to constantly intrude on your life means sacrificing your own inner peace. It's not your role to be a perpetual saviour or a passive spectator to someone else's endless crises. Your goal is to maintain clarity of thought and peace of mind. And if someone consistently hinders that, perhaps it's time to distance yourself from their never-ending drama. The 7th sign of trouble in a relationship is disrespect for your time and plans. Have you ever experienced someone regularly showing up late for meetings you were on time for, or cancelling at the last minute without a good reason? Maybe they schedule a meeting and then completely forget about it, or they reschedule multiple times in a row without any advance warning. This also shows up in a broader sense. For instance, maybe they call you late at night or early in the morning, completely disregarding your routine. Or they might interrupt you when you're focused on important tasks, acting as if their needs are more important than yours. They might consume your time with endless conversations or requests without stopping to consider that you have your own things to do, your own plans, your own life. You start feeling like your time isn't valued, that it doesn't matter to them. You feel used or simply disrespected. From a Stoic perspective, time is one of our most valuable yet finite resources. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoics, often wrote about the fleeting nature of life and the importance of using every moment wisely. When someone constantly wastes your time, they're infringing upon your life itself, on your ability to focus on what's truly important to you. The Stoics urge discipline and self-control, including how we manage our time. Allowing others to treat it carelessly means you're not valuing it yourself. If this kind of behaviour becomes chronic, it's a clear signal. This person doesn't respect you or your time, and it's time to protect this precious resource. The eighth sign, often undermining even the strongest connections, is envy and competition, where support should be. Think about this. Did you land a big win at work? Buy something you've been wanting? Share some genuinely good news? And what do you hear back? Maybe something dismissive like, "Oh, you just got lucky," or a self-deprecating, "I could never do that." Perhaps they immediately pivot to talking about their own, supposedly bigger and better achievements. Or even worse, they actively try to diminish yours. When you share your successes instead of feeling celebrated, you feel a palpable tension. You sense they aren't truly supporting you, but are somehow competing. Your victories seem to irk them, and your setbacks might even bring them some strange hidden satisfaction. This dynamic is a far cry from true friendship or healthy connection, because real support means genuinely celebrating someone else's happiness. It's about empathy. It's about offering help, not about trying to one-up them or taking pleasure in their difficulties. From the perspective of Stoicism, envy is a disruptive passion, one that prevents true inner peace. It's corrosive, damaging not only the person feeling it, but also the relationship it's directed towards. The Stoics believed that external goods, like success or wealth, are not where true value lies. True good, for them, is virtue. If someone is constantly envious of your achievements, it suggests they're likely not focused on these deeper values, and they certainly can't genuinely share in your happiness. Instead of uplifting you, they tend to pull you down. This kind of interaction doesn't foster your growth, and it brings absolutely no positive satisfaction. In fact, quite the opposite. It erodes your self-esteem and poisons the entire atmosphere. It's definitely worth asking yourself if you truly need this kind of competition in your life. The ninth sign, and one that often drains all your energy, is constant complaining without any desire to change anything. You know people like this, right? Their life is a never-ending series of problems. Someone else is always to blame. The weather's bad. The boss is a tyrant. The government is unfair, and you become their shoulder to cry on. You listen to their whining for hours. You offer solutions. You give advice. And the response? Yes, abort. Or, that won't work. The truth is, this person doesn't really want to change anything. They make no effort to improve their situation. They just want to complain. And they want to be heard. It's as if they enjoy their victim status, and your role is reduced to that of an endless listener and comforter. You're spending your energy on someone else's unsolvable problems, and you feel powerless because your advice is ignored and the situation never changes. From a Stoic perspective, we can only control our own actions and our attitude. Complaining without taking action is a complete waste of time and energy, both yours and theirs. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can change and accept what we cannot. If someone isn't ready to act, constantly listening to their complaints will only exhaust you. It benefits neither them nor you. It's not support, it's enabling their passivity. Your time and energy are too valuable to waste on something that leads to absolutely no progress. Shield your mental resources from this endless stream of negativity. The 10th sign that might signal it's time to cut ties is attempts to control your life. Have you encountered someone who constantly tells you how to live? What to do? who to be friends with, which job to choose, even if you didn't ask for advice. They might criticize your decisions, push their opinions on you, or even try to manipulate you into doing what they want. This shows up in both small everyday matters and big life decisions. You need a new haircut. That job isn't for you. Why aren't you married yet? They might call to check where you are, who you're with, or why you didn't do something they thought you should have. You feel constantly watched, as if you don't have the right to make your own decisions or have your own freedom. It feels incredibly heavy and leaves you feeling powerless or like you can't manage on your own. From a Stoic perspective, autonomy and free will are key concepts. Stoics taught that the only things we truly control are our thoughts and our actions. Allowing someone else to run your life means giving up your freedom, your dignity, and your ability to live in accordance with your own virtue. Your life is your responsibility and your choice. If someone constantly tries to take that control away from you, they are infringing on the very foundations of your inner world. This is a serious signal, and ignoring it is dangerous for your self-esteem and personal happiness. The 11th sign that can destroy any healthy relationship is lying and insincerity. Trust is the foundation. If you're constantly catching someone out in a lie, that foundation crumbles. It doesn't even matter how big the lie is. It could be small fabrications or serious distortions of facts. The main point is you start doubting every word they say, every story they tell. You feel that the person is being dishonest with you, that they're hiding something, or deliberately trying to mislead you. Maybe they're lying not just to you, but to other people as well, and you become an unwilling witness to this, or even, by their design, an accomplice. This creates constant tension. You can't relax when they're around. You're constantly analysing if it's true or not. This kind of interaction brings nothing but anxiety and disappointment. From a Stoic perspective, honesty and truthfulness are crucial virtues. Stoics value truth and clarity of mind. If someone is constantly lying, they're not just violating principles of virtue, they're destroying the possibility for genuine, deep connection. Without trust, sincere relationships are impossible. You can't rely on such a person. You can't be sure of their intentions, and living in constant suspicion is a huge emotional burden. It hinders your inner peace and robs you of your confidence. If trust is completely gone, there's no point in continuing the connection, because what would it be built on? And finally, the 12th, and perhaps the most crucial sign, one that encapsulates all the others, you consistently feel worse after interacting with them. It's a simple yet powerful indicator. After talking to or spending time with this person, how do you feel? Do you feel drained, down, irritable, perhaps insecure? Your well-being, your self-esteem, your inner peace, all of it suffers. If before the interaction you were in a good mood, and afterwards you feel depleted or upset, this is a clear warning sign. This isn't just fatigue, it's emotional wear and tear. Regular interactions that leave you feeling this way are deeply draining. They take a significant toll on your mental well-being. You might start dreading these encounters, or feeling like you need to brace yourself for them, as if preparing for a difficult ordeal. From a Stoic perspective, our primary aim is to cultivate virtue and achieve eudaimonia, a state of true human flourishing or a deeply fulfilling life. If someone consistently hinders this process, undermining your sense of well-being, then that relationship is fundamentally incompatible with your goals. The Stoics taught that we must be discerning about the company we keep, recognizing that our environment significantly shapes us. If a person consistently has a negative impact on your inner state, the wise course of action is to protect yourself from that influence. Your peace of mind and well-being are paramount. If certain relationships jeopardize them, it's time to take decisive steps. Here's the core idea. Stoicism teaches us that the wisest course of action is not to try and change what's beyond our control. We cannot force someone to change, but we can change our attitude towards them. And sometimes we can change our presence in their life. Cutting ties with someone isn't a sign of weakness or selfishness. It's an act of powerful self-protection. It's a conscious choice for your peace of mind. And this is perfectly in line with Stoic principles. Your energy, your time, your mental health are valuable resources. Protect them. We hope this video helped you understand this complex but important topic. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on new useful content. And of course, share your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these signs have you noticed in your own life or relationships? Or maybe you have your own warning signs you'd like to share? We'd love to hear from you.